Charity checkout donations. So you're at the store, you're grabbing your items, you're standing in line, you get to the cashier, you have your credit card out, you're ready to pay. And then what happens? The cashier prompts you, or the screen prompts you, hey, do you want to donate $1? Or do you want to round up your purchase to the nearest dollar or the nearest $5 to donate to a particular charity, XYZ charity? And then you're on the spot and there's people behind you, the cashier is there. A lot of people feel very pressured to donate. It's a small amount typically that's being asked for, and you might feel embarrassed to not round up 50 cents or give $1 to a charity. But here's the thing. It's never a good idea, almost never a good idea, to put a middle person, a third party in between you and the charity that you're supporting. Right now, CVS Pharmacies, CVS is the subject of a lawsuit. I want to put in the caveat here that I am not an attorney. I cannot draw legal conclusions or offer a legal opinion about the status of this case. You can certainly find many articles about this case online. But essentially, in layperson's terms, CVS had made a pledge to the American Diabetes Association of $10 million. And let me just double check here. $10 million over 3 years to help the organization's Project Power program. Now, in layperson's terms, what happened here is that CVS is basically being accused of using, instead of using its own money, its own profits to fulfill that $10 million pledge, it's being accused of using some of the money it collected at checkout, from customers as part of fulfilling that pledge. Now, typically, when you donate at one of these checkouts, the corporation, the company who's collecting the donations, they're generally supposed to just be acting as an agent. So in other words, they're just taking that money, collecting it, and then passing it on to the charity at some point. Generally speaking, and there could be contracts constructed in a variety of ways, but generally speaking, most companies, they really want to act more just as an agent. Like, we're taking the donations from you, we're just providing a service of collecting these donations, as part of the public good, maybe public relations, and then we're passing them on to the charity. So that's what makes this situation a little bit different. Did CVS do something wrong? That remains to be seen. I'm not an attorney, so I can't draw a conclusion about that, but it's certainly an interesting case. What I can do is just give you a couple of general tips about this. First of all, it's almost never a good idea to give under pressure. This charity you're donating to, I realize it's a small amount of money, $1 or 82 cents or whatever, if you're rounding up. But really, if you're donating to charity, to have to make a 3 or 5 second decision about whether this particular charity that the company's collecting money for is a worthy one, has programs you want to support. How can you make that decision in 3 or 5 seconds while there's people standing in line behind you? And it's really okay to say no, really, truly. It's okay to say no. If you're interested, take note of the charity and, go online when you get home. And if you want to donate, please make a donation. But, making these kinds of impulsive giving decisions is usually never advisable. And I suppose this CVS case, American Diabetes Association case, is sort of a perfect example of one of the things that can go wrong. There's one other element to this I want to point out before I end the video, which is that even if a charity's efficient, so say that you donate to a charity at a checkout in the checkout line, to a charity that a company's collecting money for, maybe it's really efficient. Maybe it spends 85% of its budget on programs. Maybe, right, it operates efficiently and it pays people appropriately. And, everything on the governance and everything looks good. But what if it has programs that you don't actually agree with or align with your values? So one example I can think of is, say that you're an animal rights or animal welfare type of person and you're against certain types of animal experiments or anti-vivisection, for example, and say that the charity that a company's collecting money for is a medical research charity of some kind that performs these types of experiments. Well, then, even if it is an efficient charity, you may not want to support that particular charity. Now, I'm just giving a hypothetical. This is not related to the specific case or the specific charity, but just to give you a prime example of how a particular charity might actually be efficient with its finances, but just may not have the programs you want to support. You certainly can't make that determination in 5 or 10 seconds in line at a checkout at a grocery store or a CVS or anywhere else. So just keep that in mind. Please be more proactive in your donating decisions and do not be embarrassed to say no at the checkout line. My name is Lori Styron. I am the Executive Director of Charity Watch. We are a national charity rating and watchdog organization founded in 1992 and based here in our fair city of Chicago, Illinois. Thanks, everyone.